Hey Clashers, welcome back. I'm your host Luis Villalon, back with a brand new episode of The Culture Clash, bringing you the hottest pop culture news and of course the hottest co-host. Today I am enlightened because I have someone who I love so much. Not only do I love him, but he is also very much involved in a cause that is very important to me and to everyone listening, I hope, at least. I know that there's been a lot of chatter, a lot of gossiping, whether we're going to have Pride this year, who's hosting Pride, why are companies dropping us, why are we dropping companies? I know that I am guilty because I've also kind of indulged in a little bit of gossiping, and I just needed to get the information straight. I needed to get someone here that can answer all of the questions that you and I have about Pride, about how we can get involved in so many things. So please help me welcome my very good friend, Jake Hitch. Hi, Jake.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm so happy. I'm delighted that you're here. I know that I met you last week. We had a little lunch, and he was going to yell at me. He was like, girl, stop gossiping about Pride. And I was like, well, listen, I need to know the story. I need to know everything that is happening because I know that it's only the beginning of April, but June will be here before you know it. So I know that you're very much involved with Pride. You're very much involved in Cincinnati and everything that happens. But before we get into a little bit more on the heavier or more serious note, let's do what we do best here at the Culture Clash, which is talk shit. And you know that I have a little fun question that I always ask my co-hosts. It kind of gives me a bit of idea of who they are. I think I know who this person is, but why don't you tell the Clashers who your number one pop diva is?
I have been thinking about this moment since we met last week, and it's kept me up at night, actually, a couple of nights, because I have such a deep love for so many people, but the OG still stands. So I gotta go with Christina Aguilera.
Yes.
She's my number one. She always has been. And I don't think that she gets the credit that she deserves, so...
Miss Christina Aguilera. So my first take on Christina Aguilera, I know a lot of people hate on her. The voice of a generation. She is up there, maybe top 5, top 3 of early 2000s, late 90s pop divas with the voice. What was your number one album? Like, what is the album that you fell in love with her?
Okay, so we talked about this last week because me, like growing up in northern Kentucky, did purchase the CD Mi Reflejo, which was her first Latin album.
Yes.
Couldn't sing any of it, and still to this day, like, would probably butcher the crap out of all of it. But it was amazing. And Come On Over is like the number one song of all time for me. Last summer we did it like a birthday party bus, and it came on the soundtrack and of the bus, and there were multiple people on the bus that had no idea what the song was.
Oh, I dropped them off on 71. So
I know. I was
get
like,
out.
why are you on my party bus and you don't know this song?
No, get out.
So then I realized that my job is an educator, and I had to educate the girls on Christina Aguilera and why she's so fabulous.
I agree with you, and that is the reason why we have this job, so that we can educate the children about these people who have raised us, and Christina being one of them.
You got to teach the kids.
They gotta learn. They gotta learn. So funny thing about Mi Reflejo. So it was Christina Aguilera's first album in Spanish, and it was my very first album. It was the very first CD that I ever gotten as a child, and just like you said that you were listening to Spanish music, not understanding what Christina was saying. It was the same way for me when I was listening to her English CD, because I couldn't understand what she was saying. In fact, when I moved to the United States, it was late 2001, Coming Over, I remember like Homecoming or some sort of dance came on, right? And I was like, oh, I'm about to break it down, girls. I know the lyrics to this. Oh no, it was Coming Over in English. And I'm like, I would have sashayed away. I would have Valentino my ass because I did not know the lyrics.
But that one, like on Mi Reflejo, like I could sing the majority of it, and like probably wasn't pronouncing things correctly.
That's okay.
But like neither was she at that point. She's very open about like the fact that she didn't pronounce a lot of things correct on that album, because her dad is Ecuadorian, but like she wasn't fluent in Spanish. So this second album that she released last year, her second Latin album, she's much more like her what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
More fluent?
yeah, she's much more
Yes.
fluent, and it's fluid, and it sounds more authentic. So,
Well, I just love that Christina can just come up and say, you know what, my pronunciation is not the best, but I'm singing you with my heart, unlike Selena Gomez, who was getting defensive about her accent. But that's another story.
yeah, and also, girl, like, sing to me the ingredients on a ketchup bottle. I don't care. Like, you are amazing.
And whatever Christina is doing, not to talk about women's body, but we are going to talk about it when they look that fucking good.
Snatch.
What has she done?
What hasn't she done, I think, at this
Well,
point?
whatever it is that she's doing, facelift, ass lift, leg lift, whatever it is, I need numbers, I need names.
Yes.
Because, girl, she is doing it right.
Listen, I'm not like I said, I love all of them. And like I wasn't so many people of our generation were like Britney or Christina, NSYNC or Backstreet. Like, I loved them all. I had an appreciation for all of them. But like, look at Britney now and look at Christina now. That's all I got to say.
We're always going to love Britney.
I love Britney.
Yeah.
I love Britney. Like, Britney fans don't come for me. But
will.
like, look at Christina. Come on.
She's doing great. I love Christina. I love Xtina. She raised me. I learned a lot of English through her music.
And Burlesque is now on stage.
Burlesque.
It's in the West End.
Really?
Yeah, and she's an executive producer for it. So hopefully it's going to come to Broadway.
Burlesque is one of the best movies of
Yes,
all time.
it is.
It is so underrated. It has Cher, it has Christina. What's his name? Tucci.
Cam. Oh, Stanley Tucci.
It's Stanley Tucci. It is star-studded movie.
Yes, and Julianne Hough has like dark red hair and she looks incredible. She slides down. I will never forget. She slides down the like diamond back of the stage and like straight into a split.
We love that movie. That makes me want to watch it. We're supposed to get storms this weekend, so I might watch Burlesque. It sounds like an amazing. It's always a good idea.
Yeah, it's always a good idea.
And Cher in it, it's just chef kiss. Chef kiss. Okay, well, now let's get onto some serious conversations.
Okay.
Because like I said, we're both a part of the LGBTQ plus community. Me?
Yeah, I know.
I'm a woman.
That's true.
Very proud to be a part of the community. And I have always said, like, well, how can we get involved? I am the type of gay who is always talking about, like, oh, I wish they were doing this. I wish we were doing more. But I have you here because I want to ask you all of those questions that I have had, that a lot of people maybe sit down and gossip at brunch. And I know that we don't do it without any malintention or bad feelings, but we really want to hear how we can get involved, what Pride means this year, and what to expect.
Yeah.
So one really quick question that I want to ask you. What is your role at Pride?
Yeah, so I am the director of development. So I am really the liaison between our organization and all of the other organizations that we partner with that maybe sponsor us, either like financially or like bringing us volunteers or anything like that. I'm kind of that liaison person.
So you are the one knocking on doors, asking people like, hey, we are here, we're queer, we need your help, we need your love, we need your loudness, really.
Yeah.
Great. So first of all, thank you.
Yeah.
You and hundreds of other people put this event together every year. A lot of us just see it as an excuse of getting drunk, having fun.
And it is.
And it is. It absolutely is. But I'm very happy that you're here to give us a little bit of insight of what goes on in order for us to get there.
Yeah.
So you, being your role, you said something about corporation funding. I know it has been a little bit of interesting topic this year because I have heard that big corporations have dropped us, that we're not taking money from them. What exactly is going on with corporations and Pride?
Yeah, so this is what I'll say. So for many years, I think we've heard from the community, like, hey, why are we accepting like partnerships or sponsorships from companies that don't really have our back January to December, right? There's a big like phrase called rainbow capitalism that a lot of people use. And so like organizations that really only care about Pride for the month of June, whether it's for their own visibility or to say like, yeah, no, we're supportive. And we've had a lot of that feedback and pushback from our own community of like, why are we continuing to partner with organizations that have that kind of mindset and take that stance? And so I don't know if you know, but in 2025, there are shit has hit the fan politically, right? DEI programs all over the country, all over our nation, have been cut, are being changed, they're being attacked, and we thought that this was really the year for us to make an adjustment to the partnerships that we do pursue and that we do continue to have. And so, it's not just big corporations. It's big, small. It's corporations. It's small businesses. Like we've kind of had this reset around like what does it look like to be supportive of the community, and not just in June, but I know I can't speak for you, but for me, like I say this, I feel like I've said this every time that I've talked about it, but I am pretty gay, and I'm pretty gay from January to December.
Yeah.
Not just on June 28th. I know it's a shock to everyone, but I am so gay all year round, right? And so, and our community is here all year round. It's not a 1 month thing. It's not a 1 day thing. And so we've really tried to prioritize only pursuing partnerships moving forward that do have our back for the entirety of the year.
I love that answer, and that was very politically correct. And I love that and appreciate it. So I'm just gonna sum it up for you guys. We have raised our standards, and we are not taking your money unless you're putting your, essentially, if you need to put your money where your mouth is. We don't care for your money. We don't care for your float at Pride and hundreds of employees that you bring when your policies are basically restricting our rights. And I love that we're doing that, but it's something that the gay community for years and years have talked about, how like, oh, well, these companies only care. It's become a meme. And now we have the opportunity to say, you know what? You're right. We are now saying, no, we don't want your money unless you change your policies. Come back to us next year.
Yeah, and it's not like, it is exactly what you said. I think talk the talk, but like if you're not walking the walk, then like bye Felicia. Like we're not interested. And so there have been companies that we've worked with in the past or even knew that like for this year we've declined. They have reached out in regards to sponsoring, and we've said no thank you. There are a couple organizations that we didn't even reach out to in the first place because we knew we didn't want to work with them. And then there are a few of them that have actually reached to us and say, hey, like based on what you're looking at, we know that we're not going to be a good fit for a partnership moving forward. And so they've kind of self-selected out. Any like company or organization that we're working with, like we ask for their non-discrimination policy in writing. And we know and we understand that like some smaller businesses like may not have that like constructed, but being able to see what they do in the community or for the community, I think we take it on like a case-by-case basis. But if a small business here in the city that is queer-owned may not have like a formal non-discrimination policy, but like they're queer-owned, they're here for the community, like clearly we're going to honor that, right? So yeah, it's a case-by-case basis, but like, no girl, like we're here and we're queer, and like, thanks but no thanks.
Who are the companies you said no to? I'm just kidding.
Oh, girl.
I'm kidding. As much as I would love to know, we're not here to drag anybody. And I think all of us might have an idea of who these companies might be.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you've seen it on social media, you're probably right? The reason we're not like blasting these companies out is for multiple reasons. I think I said this to you last week, but at the end of the day, like, I am not the corporation police. That's not my job. I also am not trying to give them any more like visibility. And the moral of the story is that we made this change to our policies and what we're looking at because it is about our community, right? And at the end of the day, like we need our community to show up and show out. So like corporations, no corporations, whatever, like that's not even the important part of it. The important part is we need the community to show up and show out for the things that they want to see. So if they want to see things at Pride, they want things to happen. They want us to continue having these great events and, you know, for Cincinnati Pride to exist in the future, then we need the community to show up. And not just financially, but physically, right? Like in a volunteer space, whatever that looks like, and just to attend the events. Like we got to get the community to show up. So that was really the like driving force in this change.
I think it's an amazing opportunity to show ourselves, the community, that regardless of how much money or sponsorship we can have, we are the party. We are Pride. We are the event. And we go to this event to feel safe, to be surrounded by our community, surrounded by people that care and love us, support us, and not just people that want to tag their name along with our popularity or non-popularity, because we are going through some tough times. It's impossible not. We try not to get political here at the Culture Clash, but it's impossible. This isn't even about politics. This is about our rights to exist. This is an event to feel proud every single day that we wake up. I know, let me ask you something. When was your first Pride?
I was thinking about this the other day. Let's see. I turned 18 last year.
Right.
I actually think one of my first Prides, we were together. Like
What year
our
was
friend
that?
group, like 2010, 2009?
Yes.
And 10?
In Columbus.
In Columbus, but then here as well, because a lot of it was hosted at that point. Pride in Cincinnati was all downtown, not at Sawyer Point.
Right.
So I remember like going to Roxy's or Hamburger Mary's, formerly known. But I remember that because I remember a lot of booths and stuff being set up on the square. So yeah, I have been around Pride festivals for many years. I mean, like our Pride festival has moved. It was in Northside, it was downtown on the square. Now it's obviously in Sawyer Point, so it's moved around a lot.
So my very first Pride was actually in Northside in 2008. I was actually still in the closet. I was still closeted. It was the year that I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry was out. And I think I was 18 or 19, I don't remember. But I just remember being such a, like, I was like, this is my people. Like, you know, it was a bittersweet moment because there was no point of return. It's like,
And I Kissed a Girl was playing, and you were like, I didn't.
I didn't. I did, and I did not like it. I did, and I did not like it. But the reason why you're here, why all of these volunteers are behind us, is so that kids who are 18 or 19 years going to their first Pride can have that sense of belonging and that sense of feeling that I know I had back in Northside, drunk at the age of 18.
Oh, girl, yeah. And that's like, we have people ask all the time, like, are you, you know, is Cincinnati Pride ever going to move to like adults only, or are you ever going to like ticket the event? Like our number one goal is to never ticket the event. So there are many cities around that ticket.
Yes.
And not that that's not the right thing for them. It's not for us though. It's not. It also is, it's going to always be inclusive of everyone, no matter the age, because everyone's journey is different, right? Like, I remember coming out in high school, but I have a lot of friends that didn't come out until a lot later in life. And now especially, like, I feel like kids are coming out earlier and earlier and earlier, which is wonderful. But like giving everyone the opportunity to come to an event. And even like one of my favorite things at events, which is ironic because I hate children, except for my nephew. But I love seeing children at the festival and like having a good time with their parents. And I'm like, how cool would that have been when I was like a little kid to go to a Pride festival like that? You know what I mean?
To not grow up with this like stigma or this idea of what it is. And to everyone in Cincinnati and all over the world and all over the US, I invite you to go to a Pride to see what it's like. Yes, there is the shirtless man dancing, and that is literally 5% of what it is. Mm-hmm. It is a community that we come together, that we understand that even if the world turned against you, these people will always have your back. even though sometimes it's really hot in there. You grab yourself a cocktail, you watch. Listen, if we can see drag queens up there with wigs, stacks on wigs, full beats, full dress, full everything, then you can deal with the heat of Pride.
It's so hot. Like, it's so hot. We have had discussions around like moving our festival to later in the year because many cities are doing it across the country. My favorite moment, so Chastity Marie,
Which we love.
she is Miss Cincinnati Pride. She
Yes.
just won our pageant a couple weeks ago.
Congratulations to Miss.
Miss Chastity Marie.
Yeah.
She, a few years ago, because we have drag on the main stage at the festival, right?
Yeah.
And so she's one of my best friends. I hope she doesn't hate me for telling this story, but I don't care. So being in drag the day of Pride is hell because you are like pounds of makeup, pounds of padding and costumes. And she had done the parade and she was, you know, had gone through that entirety, which is a couple hours of like the just parade entrance and waving. Yeah. Her time came to go up on stage. I remember going backstage to like check in on her. No wig, makeup was coming off. And I was like, girl, what are you doing? And she was like, I'm not doing this. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, it is 30,000 degrees. I am hot. I don't care. And she actually still having her makeup on, but no wig, walked across the street to one of the vendors, got a big thing of chicken fingers and fries, and just sat backstage and ate and didn't go on the stage.
I don't blame her.
She just said no.
I don't blame her. It is so hot.
But it's her prerogative, I guess. Yeah.
It's also one of just the best times.
It's one of the best times.
So sometimes when, you know, the internalized homophobia that comes on from maybe older gay men or even people in the closet that are just always like, I would never dare go to Pride. It's hot. It's messy. It's slutty. I'm like, you don't understand what
And
it
you're
was.
like, yes, it is.
I'm like, you don't understand what it's like to pack a room with 12 to 14 different people in that room. There's always a token woman in there.
Yes.
Doing shots at 10 a.m.
Yep.
Waking up in the morning, somehow not hungover. It's the best times of your... Some people, those people that go to sorority houses, frat houses, they have those moments. To us, those Pride moments, I will never forget.
That is the sorority house, right?
Those
Like, that's
are-
the frat house, the sorority house. Yeah, those are the moments.
Those are the days. I know that sometimes we can get we can get shit on for being a little messy and a little drunk, but you have to understand that this place, we feel safe. And that if we get messy, which we all have, somebody's going to be there to take care of you. Not that you should get messy, but if you do, and if you should not be drinking underage. But if you're 21, if you're 22, it's your first time at Pride, you have one too many drinks, it's okay. We're just having fun. We're celebrating those things that a lot of us didn't get to do when we were 16. We did not get to go to any school parties in high school or any after party for prom because you were bullied or you were discriminated against. So to anyone who is going to Pride this year, have fun, be safe, bring someone with you. I promise you, you'll have the best time.
And those closeted queens who, like, do try to say, like, oh, it's just messy. That I'm like, yeah, that's our one day, like, to get messy when y'all are doing it at your sorority houses and frat houses every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and probably some Tuesdays, right?
Exactly. Now, you know, I need a little AC, maybe a little fan that you can get at the parade.
Yeah.
Maybe a little beer, and then, like, you're good to go.
Yeah, then you're good to go.
You go home, you take a little nap. You know, we're a little grown, so you know how to pace the night. You want to go out and support the night, so you want to go home, get some chicken fingers, turn up the AC, take a little nap, go out again. But, you know, that comes with time.
It comes with time.
You got to be a wise woman to do that.
I know. And you have to go through the trials and tribulations,
Very much so.
You know?
Very much so.
which we have.
God. Now, like, I wake up and a hangover, it's like 2 days minimum.
Yeah, I know.
Back day, it was another shot and let's go.
I know.
Let's go. So how can we get involved? Like, what is the best way that people at home can get involved?
Yeah, I say this all the time, and no matter how many times I say it, I feel like there's still some people that don't realize it. Cincinnati Pride is 100% volunteer driven. So, and not even just volunteer driven, volunteer period. Like, we do not have one person salaried, no one profits off of Cincinnati Pride that's there, even our president. Like, so we all work full-time jobs and volunteer full-time with Cincinnati Pride. And that's whether we are like a board member like myself that is volunteering year round, or someone that just shows up for one event and is volunteering, right? So we need all of the people. I would say with this adjustment to sponsorships, obviously we've been looking for a lot of like crowdfunding and individual sponsors, but we really need like individual volunteers or group volunteers to show up and be a part of that day, and not just the festival and parade, but I mean we have events year round that we need volunteers for. So if you can't give financially, like that's totally understandable. Is there space for you to volunteer part of the day? So maybe you volunteer part of the parade and then you go have fun the rest of the day, or vice versa, right? Or maybe you even help, like we set up, the festival and parade is Saturday, but we're setting up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning, and tearing down Sunday. So maybe you even want to help like put up things like through the week, or help tear down on Sunday. Like anything and everything, it would be helpful. So, and it's great for individuals. It's if you have like a work group that you would want to sign up, like that's great as well. Any and all volunteers.
That's awesome. That's really, really awesome, because sometimes we can feel, myself included, a little restricted with how much we can do. We hear the news, we hear everything that's going on, and it's very easy to feel powerless. My first thing that I always tell people is that the biggest thing that you can do is exist, is be yourself. That is the biggest the highest protest that you can do in the world, is being yourself, going to work, being proud of who you are, being proud of the community that will support you 100%. If you want to help a little bit more, if you want to donate $1, $2, $5, can you give us a website where we can go and donate?
Yeah, if you go straight to cincinnatipride.org, there's a donate button at the top, and it will take you straight to our like donation page.
Perfect. And if you don't have the money to donate, which is completely understandable, if you have $1, if you have $5, great. If you are rich and have $1 million, we'll take it.
We'll take it.
We'll easily take it. However, if you're not able to do that, you can always volunteer to help out with the parade. You can help out with breaking down. If you're not a people person, you can just come and help out for an hour, breaking down things or whatever it is. There are a million jobs that you can help us out, be a part of the community, be a part of the change, and be a part of everything that us gays gossip about that is not being done well.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on Joe Burrow to respond to my messages about coming and volunteering and giving us millions of dollars. So
will he be shirtless?
He, yes, he will. He'll be shirtless. Everyone.
Great. So
yeah.
he'll be there. Great.
Yeah.
I'm also really excited to be at this parade and see the people who care for us, the people who have gone out of their way to support us, to see the floats, that is no longer going to be just a spectacle of who has the biggest float. It's about who is the biggest supporter, who has the gayest float, I want to feel the love of the community that, like I said, I felt in 2008, and I have felt every single time. I think I have been to most prides. I would say like 8 out of 10 prides I've been in my past life of being gay.
I was gonna say you've been to a few.
I've been to a few, and every single one of them has been amazing.
Yeah, and I think this year more than years past, like not only is it going to be about like celebrating the people that are truly there for us, but Pride started as a protest, and I think this year more than anything else, like you're gonna see that and feel that. I think our like take on it is like we understand that like it's not at all times fun to be like in the LGBTQIA plus community, and like there are many things that aren't going well right now for our community, right? And so like we understand that, we acknowledge that. However, we're not going anywhere. So we're not stopping at just like woe is me, like complaining. Like we're gonna do something about it, right? And so I'm super excited for this year's parade and festival, and I think we're only just beginning.
Now, you said something about like nationally affecting prides all around the U.S. In fact, June Pride or July World Pride is, I want to say it's in DC, is that correct? That'll be interesting. But
Yeah.
the question is,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be very interesting. But what does this look like on a national scale? How are other cities' Pride festivals being affected?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first big city was Twin Cities Pride. So they had cut funding from Target, which Target is like corporate headquarters is in Minneapolis or St. Paul, one of the Twin Cities. But they had like rejected like a $50,000 sponsorship because of Target's DEI initiatives being changed, and so like we're seeing it kind of all over, right? Like Twin Cities, there's been some new recent developments with some of the like beer companies and within like San Francisco Pride and I think St. Louis Pride. I think that's the right city, but there's some cities like across the country that are going through similar things. I know Indy Pride just announced this week that they're kind of following suit with what we did of asking for crowdfunding and crowdsourcing and adjusting the way that they are looking at sponsorships moving forward. So in a way, like we're like trendsetters in Cincinnati, I guess. I don't know. Maybe we started something, but it's exciting. It's exciting because like I feel like we're taking the power back. And look, at the end of the day, like festivals and parades and things that we want to put on, yes, they do. Like it takes money to put these things on, but we're no longer in the space that like we're going to take every single dollar if it's not going to positively impact us. And so like we are okay saying thanks but no thanks. Like we'll be okay without these like couple thousands of dollars. And we know that the community is going to show up to replace that and fill that gap and hopefully even more. And it's from someone that truly cares about our community.
Exactly. And those $5 coming from you at home are far more important than those $50,000 coming from a corporation who just want to put their name on our party. Because that's what it is. It's a party, it's a celebration of us being free, and we should not allow someone else to have control of those moments, to have freedom of who gets invited to these events that we have created, that we have fought, that people years and decades in the making have built for us to be here.
Yeah, and moving forward, like we want this event, this parade and festival and everything else we do. Like we want this organization to withstand everything that's currently going on. So like, I don't want 2025 to be the last parade and festival in Cincinnati, right? Like I hope that Cincinnati Pride is here for many, many years to come, way past me and way past you. And I hope that it's just a continuation of, I don't know, the great work that we like see in our city.
And I think it's showing. We have seen the donation that people really are pouring their hearts in. They're really coming together, and we hope that this episode reaches out to those people who want to help out, who want to volunteer. No little help is too little. I promise you that if you only have 1 hour of your day the entire week, we promise you that that hour will mean so much to keep these people safe and to make a great event.
Yeah, I mean, we said like community, we need you, and they said bet. Like it came through, and it's really inspiring to continue doing this work when you see like that number populating and the community giving in to what we've asked for. So it's really cool.
It's amazing to see the community come together. We usually keep our guests under wrap. Like we don't really tell our friends or anyone until like you guys see it on Instagram, just to be respectful of our guests. We never know. And also, we want to gag the girls. We're stunt queens. But this time we did make a little bit of an exception, and we gathered our friends together and we said, hey, listen, this is a very important episode. We want questions. We want to know what it is that you guys are talking at brunch, at FaceTime with your friends, so that we can ask these questions. And to our surprise, it was very overwhelming, their response of how can we get involved, what can we do. And through hard times, there will always be a light at the end of the tunnel. And through all of the politics that we're going through, all of the changes, it's beautiful to see that our brothers and sisters of the community are standing next to each other and helping each other get through this, because we have no choice but to get through it.
Yeah.
And stop crying about it, because we are not the first generation of LGBTQ plus of going through shit like this. Roll your sleeves up, put your boots on, and it's time to fucking work.
I think that's what it is. Like, and it's easy to say that like this is the toughest time, and this is an extremely tough time for our community. But like it in some ways has been so much worse for generations before us. And our goal and hope is that it only gets better from here, right? So,
and like I said, unfortunately, through dark times, you always find that ray of sunshine, that the community comes together. For example, in the 2016, the Orlando situation, that was terrible. And there was I get chills thinking about it, because every time there's always something negative about our community, the love that comes from that negative situation, it's always heartwarming. And I wish that there was no situations like that. I wish we could just have beautiful moments. But this is our time. This is our time to come together, to donate, to volunteer, and to be gay.
To be gay.
And to be gay. And on that note, like I said, I did have a few friends over yesterday, because we wanted just to get some questions about like what's going on. I wanted to see how they can help. But I have some questions from a few clashers out there.
Okay.
So this is from Neil Stansel. As an NKU alumni, how do you feel about their decision to roll back on DEI
I
programs?
am so upset about it. I am so upset about it. So I actually, they called yesterday, you know, like when your like university calls and like alumni like asking for donations. And I was like, stop calling me. And I am really angry about your DEI initiatives. Like, and I hung up the phone. It's embarrassing to say that I graduated from NKU at this point. It's really frustrating for a university that I felt like I truly came into my own at NKU and really learned like who I was as a person, and met some of the greatest friends that I still have to this day. Right? Like I'm thankful for NKU for so many reasons, because it taught me who I was as a person. I have some of the greatest friends that to this day I still have, but it's so frustrating to see them kind of cave, right, and bend into all of this like political change and pressure. And I guess I would say like I understand that they have to kind of follow suit and follow law, but like it doesn't make it any better.
Yeah.
It's really upsetting. How upset were you with UC around the bathrooms?
Very upsetting. Very. I think I was more upset with UC than NKU. First of all, I'm also thankful to NKU, because through my college years, I woke up in many dorms. If those dorms at NKU could talk, girl. Amazing times. I met some of the most amazing people from NKU, yourself included. So many people from NKU. That was our backyard.
Yeah.
And I was very upset. I understand, like you said, there are some rules and laws that they must follow in order for them to continue getting funding and blah, 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 blah. I was really upset with the whole UC of the whole bathroom situation. It's like, now you're going out of your way.
Yeah.
Like you could have just but you went out of your way. There was a decision that you had to go and print these signs. Someone approved these signs. Someone went and put these signs up. It was just...
And it was so fast. Like, so fast.
But don't worry, because you know what Beyonce said? Always stay gracious. Best revenge is your paper. And like I said, this is not the first time that the community has faced something like this. Jessica Diamond was here 2 weeks ago. You know how much I love that woman. I love her so much. And she said, they're coming for you. And I said, oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. But it is just an understanding that if you're coming for one of my trans sisters, for one of my trans brothers, for any gay man, any lesbian out there, anyone out in the community, you're coming for any of us. And we will stick together. We will rise from this. And we'll be great.
We will.
We will. It's not going to be easy. It's never been easy. We talked about this when you and I had lunch last week. We were blessed to live in a time when we were in college. It was Lady Gaga, and everyone wanted to throw money at the gay cause, and everyone was all for gays. And if you were not for gay rights, like, you really were outcasted.
Listen, her Mayhem album is bringing it back. Are you not having so many like flashbacks to
for
college
sure.
because of Mayhem? Because it is literally what every single day was like with the Fame and the Fame Monster.
Yes.
Also, I just want to like plug that we were like two of Jessica Diamond's original fans. I just want everyone to know that.
Very much so.
Like we were two of the very first
Very much so.
fans. So.
Yes, Jessica, I told her, I said, you might be a lot of people's favorite drag queen, but to me, you're my favorite queen. I love that woman so much.
I go back on my time hop from like 11, 12 years ago, and it's, I lived in Pittsburgh for a short time when I was performing still, and like I would drive in overnight just to see her at the dock or at Diamond Palace.
Yeah.
Girl, that was my favorite bar. And like seeing the tweets and stuff, I'm like, I feel like I've lived like 5 lifetimes and
she's still around.
Such a short amount of time. She's still around, and she still looks exactly the same.
Relevant, hardworking,
Yes.
sweet as ever. Everyone knows how much I love Jessica Diamond. And through Diamond Palace, that's when I moved out of Cincinnati. But that was the era of Chastity Marie, and Chastity was born, which we're really trying to have her on the pod. I think she will be amazing.
She hates talking in front of people.
Really?
But the thing is that she's one of the funniest. So she's one of my like best friends, but she's one of the funniest people ever. But I think she gets in her head around like speaking on a microphone, and I'm like, girl, if you just like didn't act like the microphone was there and just talk like we do, like she's so funny. She's so funny.
She's so beautiful and so talented.
I don't know about that.
Oh, tell her.
No, I'm just kidding.
We've known Chastity for a long, long time.
She's gorgeous.
So amazing that she's doing well, and her career is also taking off. She's a great performer. We love, love, love. Okay, I have one other question, and this comes from Evan Van Winkle himself.
Ugh.
How can we support the LGBTQ plus programs and events all year round?
Show up. I mean, that's putting it as bluntly as I can, right? Like, we have events, like you said, all year round. The pageant was a couple weeks ago. We had it at the Carnegie Performing Arts Center in Covington, and it was sold out. Like, it was amazing. Our programming director is phenomenal, and he does a really good job of making a lot of different events to be able to cater to all different like pieces of the community, right? So we have a flash tattoo event coming up in June. So yeah, it's super exciting. So that's happening in June. And I'm trying to think what else is coming up. We have a 5K coming up, the Cincy Pride 5K. Obviously the Festival and Parade. I think when people think about Cincinnati Pride, they clearly think about Festival and Parade, right? Like, and that's fine. I mean, we see over 200,000 people and attendees that day, which is wild. It's actually one of the largest festivals in the country. But yeah, we do so many other events through the year. So Pride Night at the Red Stadium. We'll have Shout Out the Hate at the Cyclones, which is super fun. I don't know if you've ever been to a hockey game.
I have been to a hockey game, but not here in Cincinnati.
You don't have to know anything about hockey. It's okay.
It's fun.
But like they have really cheap hot dogs and beer, and it's fun to just watch people beat each other up on the,
That's what I was gonna say.
rink. So it's great. So that's super fun. And the Cyclones social media, if you don't follow Cincy Cyclones social media, they are like the best social media trolls. Like they will clap back at every comment in their socials. They're so funny. So yeah, we have that going on. Like, yeah, to your question, like, show up to the events that are going on. Tell your friends about them. I think the most sad thing as like a volunteer and as a board member is hearing after an event of someone saying like, "Oh, I didn't know that happened," or "I didn't know that was happening."
Right.
We try to get things out there as much as we can or as best as we can, but it's impossible to reach to everyone. So word of mouth is like the best sort of marketing, right? So
And you can follow you guys on Instagram as well.
yeah,
Because
Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, what
we
is-
deleted our X. We don't have that.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, bye.
Give us your Instagram handle for Cincinnati Pride.
Cincinnati Pride.
There you go. I was
Yeah.
actually looking at the events that are coming up. This Saturday, April 5th, there is Wigging Out Returns, a Bloom,
Yeah, you may know the host.
of Cincinnati's It Girl, Jessica Diamond.
No,
Are you hosting?
maybe.
Oh, well, we have to be there. We have
So
to be
this
there.
Saturday, I'm hosting a little party.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Wigging Out, so it's a turnabout show. Yeah, I'm hosting it. So Summer Clearance is making her return. I love my drag name, but I will tell you nothing was worse than being referred to as summertime discount one time. And I was like, no, that's not it. But like,
Not the
good for you, girl.
Not the summer rag.
I know, but my co-host is Summer Come Loudly. I think that's her name. I may have pronounced that wrong. But so the two Summers are hosting this Saturday. So
Summer,
Saturday at
Summer.
6 p.m.
Okay.
At Bloom.
Saturday at 6 p.m., 6 to what?
Whenever, 6
Whenever.
to 10, maybe. It's got to be done before their show
Okay.
starts, but that's going to be super fun. I'm really excited. So we have different members of like our organization and then also members of Bloom's staff doing the turnabout that typically don't do drag. So it's going to be like really awful drag from a lot of them. Not from me. I'm a professional.
Period.
But yeah, it's going to be comical and bad.
The only thing best about good drag is awful drag. So Saturday
True.
at Bloom at 6 p.m. Wigging Out, your girl is going to be hosting. So go check it out. That's going to be really, really fun. And then on April 6th, which is this coming Sunday, you have the 2025 AIDS Walk. There's a 5K, a 10K. So if you guys want to attend, you guys can go to Cincinnati Gay Pride and find all of this information. There's also Tea Dance that is happening, I believe, in 2 weeks, the 13th.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's at Oddfellows Liquor Bar. Tea dances are always really, really fun. I'm sure that you guys have heard about a tea dance. It's just a Sunday fun day where you get to see your girls have beers. The weather has been amazing. There are many, 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 many events that are happening. So if you go to Cincinnati Gay Pride, you guys can find all of the information on how to volunteer. You guys can find all of the events. So that way you can go and then don't come tell me like, oh, I didn't hear about it. There's literally an event every single weekend for this month. So if you guys don't have anything to do, or if you want to get involved and you're like, there's nothing going on in Cincinnati, there are many things going on in Cincinnati, and you can find it at Cincinnati Gay Pride. Wow, I sounded like a spokesman.
But not Cincinnati Gay Pride, it's actually CincinnatiPride.org.
Oh. Cincinnati Pride.
But we fixed it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. So there you go. CincinnatiPride.org.
Yeah.
And Cincinnati Pride, is that right?
Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
That way you can follow them.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So there you go. You guys have all of the information. We're really excited. We're going to be partnering up with Cincinnati Pride to bring you events. We're really excited to, more than raise money, we really want to raise awareness. We want to find volunteers. We want to show you at home. We want to show people from out of town how amazing Cincinnati is, how amazing the community, the gay, LGBTQ plus community in Cincinnati are. There are so many places, there are so many great restaurants, so many amazing things that you can do and see here in Cincinnati. So we're trying to just let you guys know. We are showing you on Instagram events that are happening every single weekend, every other day that you can just be a part of. And if you just want to show up and have a club soda and scream for the drag queen, if that's your contribution, I promise you it's a lot of contribution. So there you have it.
Yeah, I always say like, if one person leaves an event and says like, this is the like safest space I've ever felt, then like we've succeeded. And especially with the like festival and parade, like if someone, I think to your point earlier, like if someone is coming to their first, whether it's your first event or 100th event, if you had a good time and you felt safe and that this was a space to authentically be yourself, we did our jobs. And like, that's really all that matters. So that's what we're really looking for. Is Oddfellows connected to Mikey's Late Night Slice? Or is that Longfellows? There's a lot of bars that are named like the same thing.
I am the guy who I have been to so many bars, and someone will be like, let's go here. I'm like, oh, I don't know where that is. And they're like, here.
One time I took a wig from that bar connected to Mikey's Late Night Slice, so I was going to say, if you see a wig on a mannequin, don't take it, because they will find you on social media and message you and say, you're not in trouble, but can we have our wig back?
It
So,
must have been a nice wig.
no, it was like a really not great, like, black bob, but I needed it.
Girl.
I needed it that day.
Yeah, girl. If
But
it was...
they screenshotted the video, sent it to me on Facebook, and said, "Is this you?" And I said,
hilarious.
"Why are you coming for me? Are you in the CIA?
You just turn around with the bob.
The CIA?" I was so mortified.
Oh my God, I love
But I
that.
did bring it back the next day.
You did bring it back. I would have
Yeah.
kept
I don't need that
it.
wig, girl.
It's our gay right to keep a damn wig. Oh my God. Well, I'm really excited for all of the events that are happening this year. Like, I'm really,
excited
really excited. And let's go a little recap, because, you know, we are all about minding other people's business here. So let's go through a little recap of Pride so that we can move on. And I want to talk to you about little pop culture news. But let's go over really quick. So we are not taking any funding from large corporation unless they adhere to our policies.
We are only taking funding and pursuing partnerships moving forward that have protection for like LGBTQIA plus community, like within their organization, and are showing up for our community January through December.
Perfect. So there you guys have it. Let's stop gossiping, myself included. The second part is you can go to cincinnatipride.org, and there you can volunteer. You can sign up to volunteer. You can also donate however much you care to donate. You can also find events. You can find dates about everything that's going to happen, so that way you can make a plan. And I do want to ask you one little question, not to be dark or whatnot, but I do believe that it's something in the back of everyone's mind. How do you guys handle safety for such a large event?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have to work through the city to get like permits for such a large event, right? We do have to work with city officials, and we do have to work with fire departments and like police officers and the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. But a lot of the like individuals that we work with, like, are either a part of the community or are like big time allies to the community. I know that there is a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of, but like there is some pushback from our community around like allowing like police presence at a festival when like there are so many pieces around just like, I don't know, feeling fearful as part of our community when it comes to like law enforcement. But we do have to prioritize safety more than anything else. That's like, you know, to our point earlier, like the most important piece of the festival and parade is that everyone can authentically be themselves and everyone can safely and authentically be themselves. We also have first aid on site, so that's like a big piece of the festival. Obviously, it's blazing hot for the day of the parade and festival. So we do have first aid on site as well. So a lot of safety precautions are taken into account. It's months and months of planning, and also like thousands and thousands of dollars in planning to make sure that we are set up for success. And honestly, like from the city, like if we didn't have the resources or if we didn't have this stuff lined up, like we actually wouldn't be allowed to have the festival and parade. There was a big scare last year, just a few days prior to our festival and parade, that we actually thought we were going to have to cancel the parade because we didn't think we had enough volunteers that met the city official limits. And so we actually thought we were going to have to cancel the parade. We were like, oh my God, this is going to be the worst. Everyone's going to be so angry. But yeah, the city stays really close to that stuff. So like we have to prove like months and months in advance that we have the safety protocols and things in place to be able to make it happen.
Okay, perfect. I love to hear that. It gives us a very safe feeling especially to those people who want to take your children. This is a family event. This event, you make it whatever you want it to be. So feel free to bring your children, bring your nephews, your nieces, your pets. If it's hot, make sure that you give them water and keep them cool. But it's amazing to know that there are people committed to our safety, to ensuring that everyone that comes to support us, that comes and have fun, can have fun without being worried about something happening.
Yeah, we also added a lot of, we called them hot to go sponsorships. Thanks, Chapel Roan. But we added a lot of that to the festival this year. We had them last year too, but we have some misting tents around the festival. We have like portable water stations through the tent, or through the parade or festival. So like bring your Stanley, bring your like water jug. You can fill up for free all over the festival. And we also have sunscreen sponsors. So like we'll have free sunscreen around the festival as well.
Perfect. So it's clearly something that there is a lot of planning behind this. There are a lot of volunteers. So if it's within your heart, if it's within your time, please help us donate some money. Help us donate your time, your resources. It's going to be such an amazing pride. I'm so excited. Like I said, I had a meeting. I had a little get together with my friends yesterday. I was like, you guys keep talking shit about Cincinnati, how there are no events. It's time to put your boots on. It's time to create events for these people. It's time to show Cincinnati how proud we are to be a part of this amazing community. And I'm just really excited.
Yeah, and maybe at the end of the day, if they're still unhappy, maybe the problem isn't Cincinnati. Maybe the problem is in the mirror.
I've always said I'm
looking at you, Evan.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Give us last name, give us Instagram handles.
Social Security 40. I'm just kidding.
All of it. Give it to us all. Give it to us all. All right, well, let's get into what we're known for, minding other people's business. And I want to talk to you about some pop culture news that happened over the week. They're irrelevant, but it's always fun to talk about other people. So let me give you the news, and then we'll talk about it, okay? So Olivia Rodrigo fans in Mexico question if the Guts tour is worth it after shortening the set list leak. Have you heard about this?
No, can I be really honest?
Please.
If you put Olivia Rodrigo in front of me, I would not know who that is.
You said, I'm sorry to this man, I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
She looks like a nice man. I don't know
Not
who
a
that
nice
is.
man.
I'm sorry to that
She's
man.
so cute. Okay, I'm going to read this story, and the reason when I kind of want to drag her.
I've seen her, like I've seen pictures of her, and she's beautiful.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
I couldn't
Really?
tell you who that is.
Oh
yeah.
my God, you are old.
I know.
She's my age. She's my age. Okay, let me read you the story, and then we can drag her because I have a little bone to pick with her.
I don't need to know her to drag her. So
no,
that's fine.
exactly. Speculations begin after Rodrigo's historic performance in Brazil, the first stadium concert of her career. Many expected it to reveal a longer set list for her solo shows, distinguishing them from a festival appearance. Olivia Rodrigo is set to arrive in Mexico this week for a series of long-awaited performances. Her Guts World Tour stops in Mexico City at Estadio GNP Seguros before heading to Monterrey. Fans have been counting down the days, but uncertainty over the set list has stirred frustration online. So the idea and why people are upset, and I'm upset for my people in Mexico and Latin America. Olivia Rodrigo has two set lists. One is for festivals, and one is for her concerts.
Okay.
She's been doing her concerts, she's been doing her festival, everyone is happy. But this bitch shows up to Brazil and gives us, in a stadium, a festival list. Then is heading to Mexico, and everyone's like, wait, hold on. We're paying just enough money. Your fans in Mexico and Latin America are just as important. Do not give me this type of shit. And to your point of her being so young, it's like, these girls just don't have it in them. Do you think Beyonce will do that type of shit? Never. Even Britney Spears, who's doing playback, will never cut. Like, girl, come on.
I went to the On the Run tour in 2014 of Beyonce here in Cincinnati when it was at Great American. I'm not kidding you, like this is not even being dramatic. My tickets were in the very, very top row of the entire stadium. One of the best concerts of my entire life. Couldn't even tell if it was her or a backup dancer, or it could have been Jay-Z. I have no idea. One of the best concerts of my life.
It was Jay-Z in a wig.
It was Jay-Z in a wig, yeah.
I am so tired of these pop stars, and this is not just for Olivia Rodrigo. This is all for new pop stars. That if you want to be a pop star, you have to go see Beyonce perform live.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't think that you're capable of doing that, you're not in the right field. And I know that a lot of people shit on Beyonce. I'm not here for it. I don't care what you have to say negatively about Beyonce. But if you ever go to her tour, if you ever go, the girl will never sell you short. It doesn't matter. I saw her in Louisville. And then from there, I think she was heading to LA or whatever. To her, that show was just as important as album.
Yeah.
And that goes to show the professionalism of an artist. And these new artists like Sophia Olivia Rodrigo is just like, come on, girl, do you have what it takes?
I have seen a lot of videos. So, okay, you aged me.
I'm always aging people.
But it's fine. It's fine. Because what I will say is, who I am obsessed with, who is very young, is Tate McRae. I'm obsessed with her. And if you see any sort of show that she has done, it doesn't matter if it's like in a small setting, large setting, festival state, whatever, like that girl is giving every moment to her fingertips. Like she does not care, in a good way. She doesn't care. Like she's incredible. So I think that like, yeah, it's wild. But she reminds me of like old school, like I feel like she is pop music.
She is.
Like that is pop music. That's what we knew as pop music growing up and what we expected. So
I think that, and I'm going to get a lot of shit in the comments, but I think one of the only artists of our times or this generation that gives you that pop, that drive, that competitiveness, that it's Taylor Swift. The girl will give you another show on top of another show on top of another show because she is hungry for the fame, the same way Gaga was, the same way Beyonce is. And now just, you know, all these new girls that just come on and give you a single and they just think like, no shade, but like, where's Miss Dula Peep?
we don't know.
Where's Miss...
She's disappeared.
I love Miss Dula Peep, but it's just like... And remember when Gaga went like in between albums...
Have you seen Dula Peep live though?
I have not. I will be seeing her in October.
Because I saw her in Columbus, like when she went through, what tour was that? What was
I don't remember.
her large, what was her big album? Future Nostalgia, yeah.
Future Nostalgia.
That was an incredible,
Okay.
incredible performance. Like she was, it was sickening.
Okay.
But like, where's she been?
That's my thing. It's like there's a thing about being a recording artist and there's
Yeah.
a thing about being a pop star.
And Radical Optimism, her like latest album, like it was not
Where is
as
she?
great.
Where is she? So, I mean, she did get a Grammy, so maybe she said, you know what, I got my Grammy, I'm out.
I mean, she sang Houdini, and now she is a real life Houdini because we don't know where she is. You know?
That's such a good one. That's such a good one. Jake, it's such an honor to have you here. It's such an honor for you to school us, for you to come and share your wisdom, your knowledge, your contribution to the LGBTQ plus community, not only here in Cincinnati, but nationwide. Your work really is remarkable, is honorable. I am jealous. I feel like I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not doing enough. We thank you in name of all of the community in Cincinnati who we will be at Pride. I will make sure that everyone is there supporting, helping out, and most importantly, just feeling proud of who we are. So thank you so much for coming on the pod.
I appreciate that. I appreciate your words. Thank you. It's been wonderful work, but we're just getting started, girl. It's just begun.
We have just begun.
Yeah.
Please give us your Instagram handle.
My Instagram handle is the Hitch is back. Yeah.
There you go. You guys can follow Jake. Again, he will know everything that's happening in Pride and in the city. You can also follow Cincinnati Pride for any event updates, for anything that's going on in the city. You can find it there. You can also go to cincinnatipride.org so that way you can register to volunteer and help out not only at the parade, but at any events that is happening within the next few months and the next year, really. You can also follow the culture_clash on Instagram. We will be posting a lot about everything that's happening here at Pride and here in Cincinnati. We also have our TikTok. Oh, and we also do have some really fun events happening here at the Culture Clash that we will be letting you guys know. I actually have really bad news for you. It's our last episode of season 1. I know, it's been 10 episodes. This is our 10th episode, and what an honor to have Jake Hitch as our 10th guest. 9th guest, because Liam did a repeat, but you are our number 10. But don't worry, guys, because we have very, very amazing surprises coming up in the next few weeks. We are not going anywhere. I am just like an STD girl. Just when you thought you got rid of me, I will be back. So expect me to be back for season 2. Expect us for many, many more surprises and many, many more events. Please stay, keep following us. The Culture_Clash. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.
Do you think Fabiola's going to come to Pride?
Oh my God, Fabiola has to come. We did not even tell that story about Fabiola. It's okay. Oh.
Next episode.
Fabiola, I was just saying that Fabiola was an angel.